G'day, welcome to Cherry Chick Gaming. I'm William J and welcome to a little bit of a tutorial slash reference guide for OBS. This guide's tutorial is all about how to set it up for streaming and just a reference guide for myself on how I've set everything up from the settings all the way down to the layouts and all that kind of stuff. So this is pretty much going to be just like me rambling on for probably an hour or so on how I've set everything up on OBS for how I stream, and a good look at that to see what it would look like for people that haven't seen my streams before. So I'm going to go in the scene collection here and go to my one that I use for streams, and there I am. And then I've got like something like that. Be back shortly screen, thanks for watching, and all that jazz. So yeah, that's pretty much the scenes and all that kind of stuff. So let's go back to my OBS Toot area so we can show you how to set up everything. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys is just the general set, like the bulk of the big settings, man, at the start here. So if you go file up here, I probably should have also said that I'm assuming that you guys would download OBS and you're on your way. There's OBS Studio, and you can get that at obsproject.com. So you can download it from there. I'll put links in the description for that anyway. I'll link to all the software and all that I use today in this tutorial. So if you go to File, Settings, this is where all the bulkier back-end stuff is. This is like the foundation of OBS. Now the first thing I like to do, and this is probably like one of the very few things I use in dark mode, is actually change the theme to dark. There's a couple of themes here since I've started using this, but I use the dark. Makes it look very nice. Just click apply on everything. It's easy if you click apply at each stage. So the first thing I'm gonna show you is well, that's pretty much most of the general that you really want to use. There is like some source alignment stuff and snapping. I'd suggest enabling that. Snap sources to the edge of screen, the other sources and all that kind of stuff. It is, that one actually might be handy. That I might have added that. I'll take that. While I'm here, why not? See, this is just gonna be me rambling about the settings and stuff like that. System tray enabled and all that kind of stuff. Studio mode. Most of the stuff you won't actually use. Source alignments are pretty handy, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. And you can do some of this kind of stuff. It's mainly just playing around with OBS because can be very daunting when you open it up for the first time. So that's most of the general settings that you probably just want to change around. Stream. Now see, this is the big one right here. Streaming and your streaming service. So in service here, you have like a lot of streaming services because there is a lot of streaming services now. I stream to Restream. That's a brilliant service that you stream to them, and then they will distribute your stream across many platforms. So I stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer, and that's what Restream does. But I could also just stream to Twitch if I wanted to, or just YouTube if I wanted to, and all that jazz. And then you select the closest server to you. My closest is Australia, Sydney. For Restream, they don't have a Melbourne server, and the stream key is your almost like a URL to their streaming service. So like that key is unique to you. I won't show you my streaming key because then you could stream to my account. I'm not gonna do that, but you can find that on your stream page, usually in the broadcast or stream settings area of like youtube.com or Twitch or Mixer. There will be an actual stream key in your account, and then you just dump that in there, and Bob's your uncle. You can start streaming to that server. Now the next big one is output. Now this is very important because this is the output to the server. This is how you encode your stream. This is super important. So I'm currently in advanced, but you normally just see it in simple. But I suggest going in advanced because you got more control over your stream. Now the first one here, audio track. I select number 6. That's the 6th audio track because OBS is amazing unless you have 6 audio tracks. that's really handy for a program to have multiple tracks. I'll go into that a little bit later as well. So the encoder I use, I highly recommend using your graphics encoder if you can, because it takes so much pressure off your system. I have an NVIDIA graphics card, a pretty high-end one, so I use that, the encoder for here. But if you have no graphics card on your computer, you'd use the times 264. So, and for streaming encoder settings, you probably want to have that ticked and rescale the output to 720 most of the time. So 1280 by 720 is 720p stream, and I recommend 720 because a lot of people that are watching your streams can probably only watch it in 720 if they have moderately okay internet. If you're trying to stream at 1080p, a lot of people will have trouble trying to watch your streams, especially if you're on Twitch, because unless you're an affiliate, they can't actually change the quality of your stream. Super annoying. I wish they would include it. YouTube though does let you change the quality for your the viewers can change their quality even if you're not like a partnered person with YouTube and all that kind of stuff. It's awesome. I kind of prefer YouTube's video watching over Twitch, but Twitch has a more of a streaming community. I'm not too sure about Mixer, but I think it's around about the same thing. I think you can change your quality with your viewers. Just Twitch has this weird affiliate thing where, like, unless you're affiliate, your viewers can't change their quality of their video. So that's why I recommend 720p. For that reason, is that, you know, and anybody that has moderately okay internet should be able to watch your stream. So as I said, if you X264 is your CPU, so that all your encoding will go through your CPU. It is very resource hungry when it's your CPU, so you should have a really good CPU if you're going to go down this route. But if you have any graphics card that can do encoding, which is mainly like, you know, you could probably pick up a $200 graphics card. That's an Australian, not USD, and you should be able to encode via a graphics card, and it'll take all that pressure off your system. So yeah, but if you're doing via CPU, you would go times 264, rescale out to 720, so your viewers can have a bit more of a smooth experience. You want constant bitrate, and for 720p streamer, depending on how much graphics is there, you probably want to do 3500 bytes per second, or I pump it up a little bit extra to 4000 just to have a little bit more quality in the stream. And you will probably want it on, yeah, probably very fast or faster. Anything lower than that, like the lower you go, the more CPU you use, but the more quality it is. And the higher you go, the less CPU you will use when you're streaming, but the quality will degrade. In saying that, we'll go back to the NVEC, the NVIDIA NVEC. There is also AMD version of this, which works very similar to the NVIDIA. I can't remember what it's called. Might pop up the name on screen. Yeah, thanks thanks for that, Bill. So yeah, OBS has released a new version of their NVEC, which is working really well for me, or really good for me. So we go back to that. So you want the rate control again, constant bit rate at 4000 or 3500, whatever you want to do. This doesn't let you scale your output, but we'll talk about that in a moment. And you want key interval frames about 2. You got a whole bunch of presets here. I like low latency, but quality over performance. I have a really good graphics card. This just works well for me. And you want high for the profile. Now, these are 2 new options that they have in the new NVEC. So if you don't have an updated OBS, I highly advise it. You can look ahead to B-frames. This actually makes my streams look really nice, man. Nicer than they've ever been. And the other one is Psycho Visual Tuning. This also makes it look very nice. Optimize the bitrate depending on the visual quality. So it might up my bitrate randomly, then if there's a really intense scene, essentially. Max B-frames too. I'm not too sure what that does, but I've just been looking at guides and stuff, and they recommend using that. So I'm going to again click apply there because we've just played around a few things and I don't want to stuff up streams later on. Recording, this is my recording settings. I'm not going to go through that because this is all about streaming. I've done another recording OBS tutorial before. If you want to look at my channel and go high quality recording or something like that, I'll put a link in the description below as well on how to do really high recordings, and I go through a lot of stuff through that as well. So in audio here as well, you want to keep all the bitrate around about 320 or 160. And these are all my tracks here as well. Now in audio by default, you'll have something like this. So you got a desktop audio device, which we can actually see down below here. You can see me talking my mic, desktop audio there, and mic there. I recommend actually disabling those two settings in here. It gives you more control over your scenes and your devices and all that kind of stuff in OBS. So I'm going to go ahead and disable that. Disable and then disable. And you'll watch here, down here, it'll actually go away. So I'll click apply, that's all done. It's disappeared. So my scene now has no audio devices, and we'll go through that in a moment. Now in video, I recommend base canvas resolution and output output scale resolution to 1280 over 720. That is in conjunction with the output here. So you record your base canvas is going to be 1920 by 1080, but your output scale resolution to your streaming service will only be 720p to match with that bitrate that I was talking to before. If you up this to 1920 by 1080, then your stream will now be 1080p. That will require probably upload speed of probably like 6,000 bytes. But that's why, again, 720p is way better. The downscale filter, I just put it on Lansos. This is really handy if you've got a graphics card over a CPU, because this actually works a lot better. And you can set your frames per second. Most games are going to be 60 frames per second, while retro consoles are going to be 30. But I just stream at 60 regardless of that. So I set my frames per second at 60. This next section here is hotkeys. I don't use any of these, but you can. You can actually set like a key to switch scenes, and you can actually set scenes to have certain keys and all that kind of stuff. You can pretty much have a switchboard for all your scenes. I don't use that. I'm very manual with most of my stuff. And in advanced settings, don't really touch too much in here. I just keep this is all default. So that is all the settings. So that's the main bulk of your like foundation of OBS right there. I'm gonna click OK. Now another thing that I'm gonna show you, because it's just like it's a quality of life UI thing, and it's all personal preference. But if we go into view here, docs, you can see here that we've locked the UI. The UI is all this stuff down here, and we're actually going to move things around a little bit. So we're going to unlock that, and we're going to actually move these to the side here. So if we can scroll that across like that, and then put that there, we're just going to scroll everything into this side here. I feel as like a UI thing, it makes things a lot smoother, and also changes your canvas to be a lot bigger. Actually, we took that out. Can we get that out? It's a little bit annoying with the last one for the first time. Can we get it out? There we go. There we go. Okay, we got there. So yeah, so this is a little bit of a UI thing. It makes your UI look a lot bigger, in my opinion, and everything's on the side. I feel like everything's a little bit more smoother. I don't know why it's not like that by default. And you can just drag things like this down and then make things a little bit more bigger and easy to go between. All right, so I'm gonna go lock that UI. So docs, lock UI. Very nice. Okay, so in edit, this is where you can like pretty much copy filters and transform stuff and all that kind of stuff. It's going to edit your sources and all that kind of stuff. Profile here, you can have a whole bunch of profiles. All those settings I was talking to you about before in that file settings are actually profile based. So I'm on my stream profile right now. I don't want to change this on the go because it might screw up a few things. But yeah, I'm on a stream profile. You can actually change settings and make profiles per thing. Scene collection, that's what we were looking at the very start. This is all my scene collection, so I can change between scene collections. So I can go to like, you know, like a thing I was working for a friend. There I am, and like a starting soon type thing, etc, etc. And you can just, yeah, you can copy scenes and all that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. So go back to OBS 2. And in the tools here, man, there's a few cool tools, man, like you do auto configuration to connect to the server and all that kind of stuff. You can set an automatic scene switcher, so if you've got multiple cameras and stuff like that, like you're doing a podcast or something, you can have that on a timer and swap between people's heads. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff in there. There's also a Discord server as well for OBS. And they have a whole bunch of like tips and all that kind of stuff there, and updates come out constantly. So you usually would get prompted with that unless you uncheck that in the settings. But now we're going to start with all the fun stuff, making scenes and all that kind of stuff for your stream. So bulk of my stream is typically gameplay. So we're going to start off with that scene first. So I'm going to rename this default scene. Going to rename it. We're going to call it gameplay. All right, there we go. Now, the way I do my stream is I have things as separated as possible. So I use a layout, and I create that in Photoshop. You can use something like Paint or anything like that as well. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of images in for this stream toot that I use, like, and my biggest one is my stream border. So the way sources work are they're layered. So the thing on the very bottom layer can be overwritten with anything that's above it. So for me, I like to have everything behind my layout. So yeah, I like to have everything behind my layout. So I'm going to go choose an image. I'm going to call this gameplay layout, I guess. Like, I don't know what I would normally call it. Maybe just layout. I'm just going to call it gameplay layout. Make source visible because we want to actually see it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab that image. So, stream toot. And this is my stream border for 1080p streams. There we go. So as you can see, the way I've created this was through Photoshop. And all I've done really is just outline the areas I want to have and made those parts transparent. So this is transparent and my cam area is transparent. This is where I'm going to have my chat. And this is just because I like to have things disjointed. So I'm going to click OK on that. So that's going to be my top layer. You can lock layers with this little lock here so it doesn't move. So I'm going to do that because I don't want to have to click on it anymore. The next thing I would add would probably be my camera. So I'm going to go here. So cameras are typically video capture devices. I don't know why. It's called video capture device, but it is. I'm going to add this in and I'm going to call it my camera. Click OK again. And by default, it's going to my rates capture card. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm going to go to my webcam here. There I am. Hello. Hello, everybody. So here we go. And you can see that it is decently big. It is not in 1080p. So if we double click something, you can actually go into settings, resolution, and everything like that. I'm going to go custom here. And this changes a whole bunch of settings. So resolution, we want to change that to 1920 by 1080. There we go. Now it's really big. Hello. My camera's positioned weird because reasons. I don't know why it's positioned this way. I must have bumped it or something. Who knows? It works. We want 30 for the highest FPS here. Any format and all that jazz. And capture audio, all that kind of stuff, and we can flip it if we wanted to, but I don't think we can doing it today. You can flip vertically. No, not vertically. What am I talking about? Crazy stuff. So as you can see, it is on the top layer now. So all our layout's gone. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it down there, and we're going to make this small. So these little squares here, you can drag and transform things. Now, a very neat trick as well, because I'm showing you everything, is if you hold Alt and click one of these squares, it will actually crop it. So I'm going to crop this just to my blue outline here, which is just a sheet, a blanket actually. So I'm going to do that. And there we go. There's my camera. And now I've got a nice backdrop and all that fun jazz. So yeah, hold Alt and then you can crop things in and out, which is very awesome. So now, yeah, if we go over here, we don't want to be overlapping in here. So I'm going to just go grab this square, go all the way down, get this to a nice thing. You can go outside the canvas and you will get these like kind of like crosshairs saying that it's not going to be in the stream. And there we go. So now I've got my cam. Woohoo! I can make that big, can make that smaller. I can do whatever I want with that cam. But that's generally how I have my cam. So I'm going to lock that in place. Now you can see here as well that I've actually got the camera here. Can't hear anything right now because I think there's another setting. So if I go in camera, I think it's actually wave out, I think. Yeah? No? Yeah? No? Enable, I'm going to say buffering enabled. I think if you use like a custom device, oh yeah, use custom device. I know that's going to be using my microphone. Never mind, whatever. There's a microphone in my camera. One of those settings will enable, but we don't actually want to use the camera audio at all. We want to use our microphone. So what we can do is we can actually hide this because we don't want to use it. So that was that little settings cog, and we're going to remove that. So yeah, the mixer is where all our audio is displayed. I'll talk about that in a moment. But we also want our game here. So there's a few ways to do that. One is a capture device. So a capture device will put your, like say, like any of your consoles and all that, and capture that and put it to your computer. And that was what came up before when we went video capture device. So we're going to add that one, and we're going to call it Ripsaw because that's what my one's called. It's this Razer Ripsaw is a great product, man. It is just a reskin of the Avir Media LGX, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm not pretty sure. It is. At the time, the Ripsaw was cheaper, but I do recommend the LGX. It has some awesome features like natively supporting PS1, 2, and 3, and does HDMI and retro consoles. It's a really, really good capture device. I think it's far better than the Elgato because it does so much more stuff. But yeah, so pretty much how that would work is you plug it into you plug the capture card by USB into your computer, and then you output it to your monitor, and then you plug in the console as well. They come with instructions and all that kind of stuff. I don't know why I'm explaining it. Again, going to be rambling on a lot. So I'm going to call that the Ripsaw. And again, as you can see, let's put at the top layer so everything's gone erased. And so we're going to go custom here, and we know that our thing is 1920 by 1080. And I had this all set up already, so you would have to do a little bit more than that than what I'm doing here. Output, I think it's direct sound. No, it's wave out. For some reason, the Ripsaw likes wave out. Don't ask me why. It just does. And you want it on partial because partial actually gives you a better, crisper color. And just keep that on default. And nice FPS for that. That is the Ripsaw done. You can configure the video here, and it is on HDMI and HDMI out for the sound. That's what we want. We can change that to like going to the component, which is the other signal that the Ripsaw does. That's for retro consoles. I'm going to cancel that because we don't want to change any settings there. Click OK. Again, as you can see, it's on the top layer. So we're going to want to move that below our gameplay layer. Now, as you can see, again, it is way too big. So I'm going to just scroll that down and snap it in to here. And then we're going to expand this out to there. Now, if I turn on my switch that's connected to it, my Nintendo Switch, it should pop up. There we go. So I've got my Nintendo Switch, and I think the audio should come through. I'm just gonna. No, it's not. Making a liar out of me. So in the Ripsaw here with the audio and that, man, we put it output to desktop audio, wave out. So that will actually output the desktop audio. The Ripsaw, for some reason, don't ask me why, but it won't actually register as an audio device, but output to desktop audio. So we're gonna hide this one again. So we're gonna hide that, and better deactivate this and reactivate this. It should pop back up. There we go. So there we go. We're ready to record. No, we haven't added our audio devices yet. So to add an audio device, first one we're gonna do is an input capture. I'm gonna call this my mic. And we're gonna select the device. I have a lot of devices because I'm just crazy. I have too many things connected to my computer. And the thing we want is my microphone. So my microphone is the Rode NT USB, so USB mic. And I'm going to select that. You could use the default if you wanted to, but I feel like if you actually select the device itself, it's a lot more cleaner and etc, etc, etc. All right, so I'm going to click OK. So that's our mic. Now you can see that I'm talking in here. The next thing we're going to add is our output device. So if we go audio output device, and we're going to call this you can call this desktop audio or game audio. I usually call it game audio because it's not desktop audio, it's any game audio. So I'm going to call it game audio. I don't know why I call it game audio. Must do. And this, I use a mixer, and it is VA30. There we go. I'm going to click that one. And now when we move things, we can see that the audio is getting done in here. I don't know why it's like solid. Just is. But yeah, it will display out to that now, which is really awesome. So yeah. So like, as I said with the Ripsaw before, so if we just double click that, we're outputting the desktop audio. So we hid the Ripsaw audio, and now it's outputting to the desktop audio, which is that VA30, whatever it's called. The console is now going to the desktop audio, so that's really awesome. Okay. And I've done that. Man, there's a lot to cover. So now that we've done that, we could pretty much just stream if we wanted to. But there's a few more quality of life things I want to show you just with this one scene. And that is, if we go here and go advanced audio properties, this is really cool. So we've got our camera audio, which we don't use. And we've got our game audio, which we do use. And now you can see here, we've got a bunch of tracks. Remember, when we are streaming, we're going to be using the track 6. So we always want devices enabled on track 6. So we're going to just remove this because we don't want to use the camera audio at all. Might enable for some reason. Who knows? But we're just going to remove that completely. As well with the Ripsaw. So now we've got our game audio and mic. So we only want them on a couple of tracks just in case we do want to record from OBS. So we want to limit overlap with tracks. So we're going to have the game audio on track 1 and untick everything else except for track 6, because remember, that's our stream track, and these tracks we would be using in recording. So we want to untick 1 so it doesn't overlap with the mic there, and then we're going to untick the rest and just have track 1, 2 and 6 there. If we added more devices in, we can, you know, separate the tracks more. And that means that when you do record, if you wanted to record and stream, whatever, you can actually, you know, take out the tracks and edit them independently. We're going to close that. That's just a little bit of quality of life things for you. And just remember, we're always using track 6 in this, but you can also set that track in the settings to any track you want. You could have it all in number 1 if you wanted to. You just have to make sure that your tracks are, the tracks that you want people to hear on the stream are on that track. So we need to make sure for us that all our tracks are on track 6 so everybody can hear everything. So that's pretty much a gameplay there done. I'll go into a little bit depth towards the end with some of the advanced stuff, but we could just stream now and that'd be hunky-dory. No, we actually will go into sources and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, browser sources. So, how do I explain this? Browser sources are like all that kind of cool stuff that you see on streams. Like when somebody subs to you, you get a big flash up going, "Somebody sub to you, hell yeah," or something like that. Or you know, you can see people's chat. You can see the chat of the stream embedded into your into what they're streaming and all that kind of stuff. They're called browser sources. So there's a few things. There's one site in particular that does a lot of browser sources and makes your stream look really nice or have some nice quality UI stuff. And that place is called Streamlabs. I'm gonna drag this across. Streamlabs is a free service, and you can do a lot of cool things with widgets and all that kind of stuff in here. And I'm gonna show you, like, I'm logged into my YouTube account. So you have to authorize Streamlabs to access your account for like YouTube or Twitch or whatever. So YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, that's mostly what they do. I think it's just those three, and maybe they do Periscope, I'm not too sure. But this is the dashboard. You can see, like, you know, donation or YouTube subscribers. It's all hooked into your account. My recent events are these people are following me, blah, 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 blah. But the bulk of the stuff you want to be looking at are widgets. That's what we're talking about. So, one that we're going to be looking at is called chat box here. So you get a widget URL, and you can see how the chat would look. And we want to just embed that in the stream. I'm going to show you the URL. I'm just going to copy it, which will show up, man, in a moment anyway. Doesn't really matter. I don't think it really matters if people have my widget URL. But yeah. I know I'm rambling on a lot. So here we go. So if you go plus, then browser, we can call this chat. And I'm actually going to drag this across. This is where you put your URL. I'm going to drag this across and hide it away from everybody. And you can choose the width and height of that. So we probably want the width to be pretty small because it's going to be a chat box. So we're going to go 600 pixels. And we probably want the height around about 900. This is just random. I don't know if it's going to work or not. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to paste the URL in there. I'm going to drag this off screen so you can't see it. And boom. Now we have our chat embedded in the screen. Into the stream. Again, layout. So we're going to actually keep this on top because we actually want it on the top of everything. Now we probably should have made that a little bit longer, but we still get the job done. So if I double click that, what happens? Yeah, it's gonna pop here. Okay, never mind, that's my widget URL. Whatever, you guys can see it. It doesn't really matter because it's just a URL. That's still not long enough, but we're gonna just rock this one. So if I went into if I went to my YouTube and just start chatting to myself, like usual, we can actually show you what this would look like. Yeah, there we go. So we've embedded the stream, embedded a chat into the stream. So Streamlabs actually can take chat from multiple platforms. So that's really nice. I use the Restream chat, which I feel like works a little bit better. But it's really much of a muchness. But I'm just showing you Streamlabs because you can embed the chat in the stream and it looks really awesome. There's a whole bunch of themes, so you can just do like typical Twitch chat. Oh well. You can if you don't have CSS enabled, because I do a whole bunch of custom stuff, so I'm going to disable that. So I'm not really going to go too much into this. But yeah, we can see the chat there. It's not working the way it's supposed to, but we're getting like a crazy overlap here. But yeah, you can see like that chat above it is what that would look like. And if you went back to clean, it will look like that. So yeah, you can make your chat look pretty cool. I use custom CSS and stuff like that. When I used to use Streamlabs chat to make things a little bit more unique for myself. There is a whole bunch of other widgets that you can use, like an alert box. Again, you can just embed this stuff to stream. This is the alert box. We should actually copy because I can show you that. So alert box is like when you get like a subscriber or something like that. it will give you a prompt on the screen. So we're gonna add that as another browser source. Actually, I might move these audio down a little bit. Make it go down. Okay. Browser, and we're gonna call this alerts. And I'm gonna just that doesn't matter. That's my alert box URL. 1920 by 1080 because we want to have this nice and big, and I want to overlay that with this. Go. Onion rings. So now if we go in here and click test on a nice subscriber, we should get a pop-up. There we go. I'll go into how to set that kind of stuff up soon as well. But yeah, pretty much like just play around with Streamlabs. There's a whole bunch of tutorials on it, and all that kind of stuff. But really, it's just really playing around with how things work, and you can change the sound and the animation and all that kind of stuff. That's some pretty wicked stuff, man, on Streamlabs. So those are the two main widgets I use, but you can make event lists of donation goals and all embed it into. See. Learn some basic quick tutorials. So they have a whole bunch of tutorials on how to do stuff. But yeah, like people that donate and all that, I can embed that into my stream as Streamlabs and browser sources. So that is a big chunk of making your UI look a bit more fancier for streams, I guess. So let's go back to this. I think I didn't touch on before, which I probably should have, was we did the Ripsaw, which is a game capture device, but you probably want to, say if you were streaming a PC game or something like that, you can choose a couple of other captures. So you can do a game capture, will capture the actual game, or you can do a display capture, which is cool, which we can make things look infinite. So if you go display capture, that's what I'm using right now to record this video. Click OK. Whoa! How freaky is that? Woo! Or you can capture a game. So if we yeah, we might actually remove that because that's pretty freaky. But yeah, just click minus to remove things. If you go game capture, where you can actually capture a game, any full screen application, capture a specific window. There, capture not any full screen, but a specific window. And we've got Borderlands here, Game of the Year Edition, and just click OK. And then if we drag this back across, you can see again as overlaid the layout. So we want to put this below the layout and then just drag this across. Pop that in there. So you can overlap like multiple displays and stuff like that. And there we go. Now I'm recording Borderlands, about streaming Borderlands when I want to stream. So that's how you do all your displays and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much most of what you want to do in your stream. So I'm going to go delve into some of the deeper stuff with the gameplay stuff, a little bit of filters and all that kind of stuff, how to create other scenes that I've created. The next thing I'm going to show you some like more advanced stuff that is again quality of life stuff, and a few of those things is really awesome. The first one I'm going to show you is filters on camera. So if we double click the camera, no, not double click the camera, sorry, wrong one. Right click the camera and go filters. There's audio filters. Effect filters. Effect filters are very awesome. So by default, these are the ones that you have. The one I'm going to show you right now, you can go through these and have a look at a whole bunch of them. But the one I'm going to mainly look at is color correction. I'm very white. I'm going to make myself look a little bit more tan because why the hell not? Because I'm actually a little bit more. So saturation is the way to go. That's probably too much, but yeah. So that's just changed me a little bit. I mean, make my cheeks pop a little bit more. Hell yeah, that's what we want. But like, yeah, like really at 0, my cheeks are still popping. But I just want to add a little bit more life into my face. You can do that via the camera, but I think the filter is a lot better. And the other thing as well, if you guys are using green screens, this is where you would chroma key out a green screen. We'll click that and go chroma key. Currently on green, but if we go to blue, whoa! I'm not wearing that much blue, am I? But anything that's grey is getting chroma keyed out. What's the default in that? Oh, there we go. Blue. I don't know. But yeah, usually you use green or blue screen or whatever, and you would just like play around with these settings until you got them right. And yeah, anything that is, as I said, grayed out will not display on the stream, and I look evil. And yeah, we're just gonna minus that. Yeah, let's get rid of that crump key. I'm back. So that's filters, man. So you can use filters on audio as well. So that's a big thing that I want to walk you guys and lasses through. So if we go to our mic here, this is going to make us sound a lot better. So by default, I sound like this. This is my voice with an unfiltered mic. Before that, it's all been filtered, obviously, because I've edited that out. But this is me unfiltered. You can hear the difference. And we're going to add some filters in here to show you some awesome stuff. But again, rambling, doing things out of order. We actually have to install some plugins because OBS allows you to use VST plugins now, which is awesome. There is an amazing site called Reaper.fm, which has a whole bunch of awesome plugins for you to use. So all you have to do is, if you're on a 64-bit or 32-bit system, download either or. It will just download it. It's a very small 1 meg file and very easy to install. So you just open it up, click yes, I agree. You want to install all the filters that you can, which is pretty much all of them by default. And this is going to dump them into there, into that. You want to have it dumped into the VST plugins program files. Just click install. The default settings is the way to go. I'm going to quit out of that setup because I've already installed them. And that's that. So, all right. So the first one is definitely going to be a VST plugin, and it's called Refer. You're going to name your filter. So I'm going to call it Refer, and that's the name of the filter that we're going to be using. So Refer takes out background noise. So say if you got some like a running water like I do in the background, I'm going to just take that out of the audio. So this one is Refer here. And this is the Reaper plugins that we just installed. I'm going to select that one. I'm going to open up the plugin interface. There is a cat behind me. Give me a moment. So this is the Refer plugin. And I'm going to show you a few settings with it. Okay, as you can see me talking into this plugin. So what we want is we want to do the edit mode precise. And we want to do the mode subtract. So we want to take things out of our audio. So if we be very quiet, those noises there are my computer and maybe my cat's water fountain. So what we're going to do is going to be very quiet, and we're going to click this automatically build precise noise profile. And that will take that sound out of my audio, which is amazing. So, and there's no, I should probably preface, this is not a right way of doing it. This is the way I do it. Again, this is just for a reference for me, but this is how I make my audio sound the way it does. So now that I've taken that audio out, I can go above that and all that kind of stuff. You can see me speaking, but we're going to cross that off. That's all we need to do. That's Refer done. And the next thing I do is I put a gate on my audio. So I'm going to do another VST plugin. I'm going to call it gate. Gate. All right. And then there should be a regate here. Regate. We're going to open up this plugin. And this is the most important area here. This is where we actually gate things. And I know that my breathing is around about -40. So what I'm going to do is that, more like -45, but I'm going to put this up to -40. I think we can type in here. Yeah, we can. -40. So when I breathe, it actually cuts it out of the audio. So -40 is where I do it. And by default, these little settings here are perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, so my breathing and all that kind of stuff, it should be taken out of the audio, because anything at -40 decibels will be cut out of my audio. So -40 to -infinite, we cut out the audio, just cut out most of my breathing and all that kind of stuff. But it does mean that I will have to talk higher than -40. So I usually talk really into the microphone. So if you find yourself that you talk pretty quiet, probably don't want to set it at -40. You probably want to set it probably to -50 or something like that. But it's literally just playing around the settings and seeing what works. So that's my gate. And the next one is my equalizer. I'm going to be referring to this screen over here because this actually shows me my equalizer because the settings that I've done, man, I cannot remember that off the top of my head. So we get, again, another VST plugin. These re-plugins are amazing. So I'm going to type in EQ. Choose re-EQ. So I'm going to open this. And by default, this is what we have. So we're going to add a couple of bands in as well. And this first band, this is from what artists found online. You could get a professional out to actually EQ you to your voice, but this general setting works very well for me. May not work well for you. So just search things online to see what other people have been doing and all that kind of stuff. So this first one is a low shelf, and I'm going to have that frequency at 110. I'm going to have that gain at 6. So this brings up my bassness in my voice, baby. Got the oct at 2. Okay, so the next one is a band. Hello, band. We want this at 200 hertz. And we want the gain at 3 decibels. And the octane at 2, yep. And then the next one is another band. We want this at 291. And don't ask me why, but this one is -3. And thing at and then octane at 1.5. Don't ask me what this means. I don't know, but this is what I found online. This seems to work for me. Okay, the fourth band is not going to be a high shelf. It's actually going to be a band. And this one, we want a 3000. Okay, and we want the decibels at 3. And we want to keep that at 2. Now we're going to add another band. You can add as many bands as you want. So professionals probably will have like zillions of bands. But I'm only using 6. There's another one. And we want this at 12,800. That's what we want. We just do. And we want this at 0. We just want this at 0. And then the number 6 band, which is going to be a high shelf. So we're going to add that in and make this a high shelf. We want this at random number. Don't know why it's this number, but it is. This is what I found that works for me. We want the gain at 13.8, 13.9, and the band at 2. That's pretty much it for that. So this changes my voice fair whack. It makes it sound a little bit more crisper, less monotone, and all that kind of jazz. Gives me a bit more vibrance to my voice, and that's what I found online. I just wanted to make my voice sound bright, and this is what people recommended, and this is what I set. So that's the EQ down, so that changes my audio again. So the next part is we want a compressor. So a compressor will squish the highs. No, a compressor will, squish the highs. And bring up the lows, I think. Yes, no. Yeah, it squishes the highs. I think of dynamic processing, that's a completely different thing. Compressor will squish the highs. So if I shout, it will bring it down so people don't go, my ears. So we're going to add one of those in. So we're going to go and another VST plugin because the VST plugins are better than the default plugins in OBS. I'm going to call it comp. Now, this is a lot of playing around with. So I'm going to be looking off to the side here to see what the settings are like. So we're going to open up Recomp here. Standalone. So my threshold I'm going to set is -20.5. Again, this is all dependent on your voice. It takes a lot of playing around. I like the 0, 3, and 100. But we want our ratio 2:1. We want our knee size 6.2. Don't ask me why. Again, this is things I've searched up. Don't really understand what these do. I could probably figure it out if I really wanted to. We want our high pass at 61 hertz and our RMS size at 5. Now, that is pretty much the settings for this. Again, if I shout, you can see in the hertz range of this area here, it actually squishes it. whoa, and there it squishes it. And that's not even me really shouting. So, that's that. And then, last but not least, when I'm talking to my microphone, I'm hitting around about negative 15 decibels. So I actually want to add a little bit of gain. I add a little bit of gain just to pump it up a little bit more. Hello! Now I'm hitting the red, and that's what we like! But when I shout, it actually squishes it down. So that is my audio filter. It changes my mic drastically. So we went from this, to this. This is me talking with filters. So yes, see, you can see the difference. Now, the next section I wanted to talk about, which I have terrible memory, so I've written everything down. So we've added a game source, we added a camera, we added a layout, we added game sound showing mic and filters. We showed the Reaper plugins, and we showed audio channels. We showed that before, out of order. We added the chat window, and we added events from Streamlabs. So we showed a lot so far. So that's how I would set up this scene. This scene is pretty much done. The only other thing I would show you, which is a quality of life UI thing, is they've added this in a few versions ago, which is called grouping. Grouping is an awesome way to keep your sources very clean. And to group things is very easy. So as you can see here, we've got our game audio and mic. So if we select both those, so if we hold shift or hold control, you can right click it and group the items. We're going to call this group audio. So now we've got a group. So our drop down menu, we can just do that. So we can group them and hide multiple sources away. So like with our layout, we can group our alerts and chat and all that kind of stuff together as well. And we're going to group selected items and call it layout. So we've got alert, chat, and gameplay layout into our layout. So like, there we go. And you can hide it all, bring it back. You can lock it so no one can move anything, just like our audio. I'm going to lock that. And then with our camera and game caption, all that kind of stuff, we just group these items to be, we call it like video. What should we call it? Game/camera. Why the hell not? So that's that. And then we've condensed all that mess down to 3 options. So we could hide all our gameplay, bring it all back. We can hide our layout and that, and just have a look at our audio. And there we go. And when you group items together, if we go in here and camera is not unlocked, we can actually move them all. So it actually groups them together. So as you can see, that's what it looks like. And we can just put this back. There we go. And just move it with them. That's me moving it with the arrow keys, but there we go. Done. That's the beauty of grouping items. You can group sources and all that kind of stuff. And like, say if we wanted to move this around and lock that, we can move the layout and it's all as one, which is awesome. Really awesome to have. And you can actually add groups in. So I'll show you in another source. So I'll just call this scene test. So if we go back to sources, we can actually add a group. So if we go group, we can go add existing. So we can add that audio back in, and there it is, into another scene, which is really awesome to have groups and all that kind of stuff, and means we can switch things really easily, which is awesome. Now, a thing I do with my streams is I have an intro, a be right back screen, and a thank you for watching end screen. So I'm going to show you how to make these screens as well. This is purely just reference for me, but might help you guys as well. So again, we go new scene. I'm going to call this stream starting soon. Or you can call it intro or whatever you want, but I'm going to call this stream starting soon. So move this up. So what we're going to do is, again, we're going to add an image, but you can't use the same name. So this is going to be called starting soon layout. So you can't duplicate names or group names. That will actually throw up an error. So you have to name everything different. So I'm going to do that. Go here. And I'm going to choose this one. Stream starting soon. Boom. There we go. There's me. So yeah, this is my layout for my starting soon, but I have like a loading icon because I like to have like a little lining thing. A wonderful site for loading GIFs or icons is called loading.io. They have a lot of free stuff in here. The one I use is Eclipse, and you can change colors. So I want to use blue, and that's dark blue. I like a light blue, but you can change whatever. And yeah, all you do is you just download it as a GIF, and you can put that into the stream. You can make it transparent and all that kind of stuff. Very awesome site. They have a lot of paid versions of stuff, but I just use the freebies. So the one I have, which I matched the color scheme of this. If we go, that's the scene. Sorry, wrong place. Add image, and we call it loading icon. Let's name things properly. Click OK. Another image file. You can actually make GIFs. There we go. We got our little GIF, our little ring. So all we're going to do is going to put this in between these two. I'm going to do a rough job of this. Not going to make it perfect, but there we go. Now people, when they see my starting screen, there's got a little lining icon. It's very cool. Not very cool. It could be not that cool, but I think it's cool. And there we go. I also have a chat window at the start so people can talk to each other. And to do that, very easy. This time we're going to add a back to it. So I'm going to go chat. I'm going to call it chat back. I know it sounds pretty dumb, but that's what I like to call it. Don't know why. I've just made a black image. Black as night. And this is my chat back. So what we like to do, I'm going to just extend this out. Make it there. Put it here. You can actually stretch things out with Alt. No, is it Control? Is it Shift? Yeah, you can stretch things out with Shift. So I can expand that little thing out. I'm going to make it that big if I wanted to. But man, I want to see some dots behind that. So we're going to right click that. Go filters. Again, there's so many things cool in the color correction. We're going to go to color correction again. Another thing called opacity here. So opacity will make things transparent. So as you can see, now we can see the dots behind it. And do that. Now, I'm going to go to browser source again. I'm going to add our chat. So now we've dumped that in. Here we go. I'm going to just make it smaller. Oh no, it's going to go off the screen. So we're going to want to crop this out. There we go. Cropped it out. And there we go. And now we've got this cool chat back. A little bit transparent. Very nice. I've been putting my archive of my videos into the stream, and OBS can now import VLC, which is another awesome thing with OBS. There's so many cool things. And this is how I add a video. So VLC video source, I have a playlist. I'm just going to call this highlights. Boom, highlights. And then I'm going to actually just add a playlist. So we want to loop the playlist, we want to shuffle the playlist, and we want to just add file. But this thing is on my desktop, and it's just a playlist I've made. Here we go. And it just samples random items. Again, too big. We're going to make this smaller. Here we go. Again, it's added it as a source. So let's make that like that. Done. Now I've got these little highlights at the beginning. People can hear them and all that fun jazz. And if we go to advanced audio properties, it's on all the tracks. So we want to keep it on 6. We don't want to keep it on 1 or 2. We're going to put this one on 3. So then we can see the audio tracks if we ever record and take that out or dim it down or do whatever. And I think 0 decibels is a little bit too high. I'm going to make about 5 down here. Something I didn't show in the gameplay as well. So with the game audio, you can actually squish this down. I usually recommend probably a -20. So it doesn't drown out your mic. So if you just squish that down to -20, it's just a slider here. And you can just slide it and see like if you like it at 0 or you like it at -20 or -30. I like just to squish it down a little bit so my mic is heard more than my game audio. There we go. We've got an intro screen. So now between our scenes, we can actually change between the two. Oh man, that just cuts straight to it, doesn't it? Ooh, maybe you want a little bit of a fade. So these scene transitions here is what we can set to transition between all global scenes. You can do it independently, but I generally just like it as just a general thing to keep it consistent. So we want the duration of that fade probably to be 600 milliseconds, double it. So now, it fades very long. Now, there we go. Now, why isn't it fading to that? It fades back to there. No, it fades to both. I'm just crazy. Maybe because I have to be on here for a little bit. Yeah, it looks like I can't just switch between them really quickly. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, there we go. Now we've got a nice fade in when we change the scene. So this is going to be my scene here. And as you saw, man, it restarts everything every time we happen the highlights. So stop when not visible. So we just double click that. Always play even when not visible. That way it doesn't restart your stream each time. And then if we flip back here and then go back, still continuing the video. That's a very cool setting in the VLC highlights. That's if you use it that way. If you use something like this, you could literally just have some music playing in the background, and I'll talk about that when we look at our thanks for watching screen. Now, duplication of scenes is a really handy tool. Say, because I really like this layout for my stream starting soon, I probably want something similar for my Be Right Back screen. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just right click the scene and we can duplicate it. We get to rename it. So we're going to go Be Back Soon. Now I've got two scenes that look exactly the same, but now everything's in the same position, which we like, but we don't want to have the stream starting soon. We want a different image. So what we're going to do is we're going to go add a new image. I'm going to go Be Back Soon. And click OK. I'm going to browse for it. And stream 2. We got Be Back Soon. I'm going to open up that one. Boom. I just put it on top. Remember, we always have to think about layers. And we're going to remove that because we don't need that. We don't want that loading icon. That's a bit weird. We want something different. Again, good old loading.io have a bunch of awesome stuff. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to add image again. I'm going to call it Love Heart. Browse. Go. Art GIF. There we go. Got that from loading.io. And we're going to just put this here. We're like, be back shortly. Love you guys. I'm going to be back real soon. And there we go. We got our Be Back Shortly screen. That was really easy. And because we duplicated it, it keeps, how do I explain this? When you add a source and when you add a audio source, whatever thing it's set to, it will duplicate it across the scenes. So if you wanted this scene to have it at -5, but you wanted this one to have it at 0, you would have to add a completely separate highlight source to actually edit it independently. I'm hoping that they bring in something soon with OBS to manage to edit scenes audio independently per source, but it's not there yet. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So now we've got a starting soon, gameplay, Be Back Shortly. So as I was saying before as well, like right at the beginning, in our settings, in our audio, we had our audio device default on, every scene would have our mic. Every scene. So we don't want people hearing our mic at the start of our stream, because that's when we're setting up things, we're posting links online, making sure people are hopping in stream. I might be taking a toilet break or whatever. We don't want people hearing that through the mic, and I don't want to have to manually mute my mic every time. And that's why we add everything in manually instead of having it through the settings. So in audio, we just showing you why we disable it. We disable it for that reason. That way it's only got our highlights there and not anything else. Okay. There's us again. Hello. And now last but not least, we're going to add in the thanks for watching screen. I'm going to run through a few awesome things as well to tie everything off. So if we go in to, not there, I'm crazy. I'm going to go plus and we go thanks for watching. watching. And we go again. Actually, no. What we want to do, we're close. We want to just duplicate this again. And we're going to go thanks for watching because we want things in a certain way. See how that just changes to the next, because it's 720p. It's a little bit annoying that it doesn't extend things out. So anything that, yeah, I don't know what I'm rambling about. Just ignore me. Okay, so this is our thanks for watching. It looks like I'll be right back. Yeah, that video before was a 720p video instead of 1080p. So it doesn't keep the same sizing. It doesn't stretch things out. That's what I was talking about. Rambling. So we're going to remove that and add an image. I'm going to call it thanks for watching. And we're going to open up that image. Thanks for watching. Boom. Again, on the wrong layer. I'm going to put that at the bottom. For this scene here, we're going to put some music. So we want some outro music. So we're going to remove our highlights. And that heart is woefully bright for this end screen. So what we're going to do is going to remove it. And we're going to add another image. Again, as I said, filters and all that kind of stuff duplicate across the whole source. So that one source keeps the same settings across all. So we're going to go heart black. So we're going to add the same heart we did before. And we're going to add that there. And this time we're going to add a filter. So again, color correction is a beautiful tool. And we're just going to make the saturation go away. We're going to darken the brightness. There we go. Now we've got a black heart. So if we, as I said, if we change this heart here, go filters, go color correction. No. Filters. We should be locking layers and stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter right now because we're not streaming and stuff. So color correction, and we made this black. So we just go like that, close. We go to, if we added that heart back in, so if we go add image, and we just be like love heart, it will also be black. And that's what I was talking about before. So it matches the filters across all. That's why you'd have to add the source again, but then add the filters on top of it. That's just like a little tidbit that frustrated me very much. So we're going to add music in, and we're streaming and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if people care about copyright that much, but generally you can't use copyrighted material in streams because then you get demonetized or copyright stricken for using, say, like Eminem's new album in your stream or whatever. And if you want to keep everything above board and not use copyrighted material, and you don't want to have things copyright stricken, there is an amazing site called Pretzel.Rocks. So I'm going to open this up here. So it's a stream-safe music service for live streamers. Ours are Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook safe music don't get DMCA'd. Because these are all people that are uploading music, man, and they've said, look, it's Creative Commons. You guys can just use it for free. So this is a great little program, and it's called Pretzel.Rocks. And you can download for Windows, which is awesome. So I've been running through a few things here. So this is Pretzel. Again, so we're going to have to add the audio source in. But the beauty thing about Pretzel as well, its player actually lets you set it to a specific output device. I'm going to run through this with you now, but currently I have it outputting to Voicemeeter aux. So I use a digital mixer. I'm going to run through that very shortly with you guys. But for now, I'm going to add an output capture device. I'm going to call it Pretzel. And it is in its Voicemeeter aux. So where is my Voicemeeter aux? Here we go. Now, I exited out of Pretzel, didn't I? Yes, I did. There we go. There we go. Now we've got some kick-ass tunes pumping, man. So Pretzel gives you these little whatever, but there's a whole bunch of stations, man. Like 352 hours of just tracks, man. All the music. You can do some pop, chill, mix, ambient, synthwave. Whoa, they have a synthwave thing now. Oh man, I haven't looked at the stations. Hell yeah, man. Pumped for that. And if you click these like little 3 dots here, you can do instrumental only, or allow for mature, or turn it off. Chat announcements are mandatory for free users. YouTube safe mode. So YouTube safe mode will remove like swear words and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, sick. I've learned something new, that there's a synthwave station. So there we go. That is Pretzels. Now I've got some nice, what do you call it? Creative Commons music in my stream. There's a few awesome things in the settings as well. So if we go to all settings, audio is output into that, playback, instrumental only, and so we're allowing mature, but we want YouTube safe mode. Keybinds. There's no way to go back a track, I don't think. But in the file output here, this is an interesting thing. We can put a track into a file, which is a text file. And I'm going to run through this. So that's the output thing. And then also save album cover to a file. So I'll put these on my desktop and I'll show you what we can do with that. So the main one we're going to put, so we're going to go add an image. We exited out of Pretzel again. I need to stop exiting out of Pretzel. I know it sounds weird, man, saying Pretzel, but it's pretty cool. It also keeps whatever station you were on last. So we're gonna go add image. We're gonna go Pretzel album cover. Pretzel album cover. Go browse, and on my desktop, there will be the Pretzel album cover that we were looking at. So this will change every time the new track comes with whatever album it is. I'm just going to expand that out. Another cool thing that we can do, as I showed you before in those settings, was output the track to our text document. So if we go add source text, we can actually show what text is playing. I mean, what song is playing on the stream. So we're going to go Pretzel song name. So we can actually write text and display text like up in the corner there, but we're actually going to want to read it from a file. So I'm going to read it. I'm going to browse for the file, and it's Pretzel text. That's what we named it. So that's the song. City limits. So if we have a look over here, here we go. We're playing City Limits by Santa and Fingers, and that's what's getting displayed. Can I just drag this away? Thank you. And you can change the font to whatever you want. So, or like Canada or Korea or Mark, whatever you want to use. That one looks cool. You can change the color and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to keep it as white for now. You can change the alignment, all that fun stuff. I'm going to click OK. But man, that's a bit boring. Just standing still like that. So we're going to go again, filters, because there's so many cool things in filters, and there's an effect filters. And there's one here called scroll. Click OK. So we can actually make a scroll. So we can make a flip up and down. Woo! Oh! We don't want any of that. So let's go defaults. But we actually want it to go and display that. So now we've got a little scrolling music there. We've got our music playing. And when we take out from that scene, the music stops. As I was talking to you about before, I was talking about my virtual mixer. I'll show you that now. Sorry, I just glossed over that, didn't I? So I use a free digital mixer called Voicemeeter Potato. And this is at vb-audio.com. That's the URL up there. And if we go to Banana, you get some cool looking mixer. You get a little bit more stuff and thing, but they've just released Potato, which has a lot of awesome features. So this actually remaps all your sound devices and all that kind of stuff, and now you've got a digital mixer to make inputs and outputs. So all you have to do is just grab the install file, install it, and I'll add a whole bunch of new sound stuff, and I'll show you that. Click here and go sounds. I'm pretty sure this is only for Windows only. So if you're on Mac, sorry, but in playback, it will add VAI30, Voicemeeter input and a Voicemeeter aux input. Very nice. So you've got a whole bunch of devices to play things through. So if we actually open that up, Voicemeeter Potato, because I actually have Banana installed as well. You see this very daunting thing. So by default, this is what you would see something like this. The aux is where we're playing that Pretzel music through, and in our hardware out, you'd have to actually like watch some tutorials on this. But this is your hardware out, so that's like your headphones or your speakers or whatever, and you can add up to 5, which is awesome when you're streaming with friends and all that kind of stuff, because you can actually just add additional headsets and all that and control things independently. But yeah, I've just added my audio 1 is my headset, and my audio 2 is my speakers, and in here you can actually turn off and on things. So with our Voicemeeter aux, I actually don't hear Pretzel, but if I put this through, now I can hear it through my desktop audio. I turn it off, it's gone. And the reason why I do that, and I know I'm glossing over this real quick, is in my OBS here, we actually go to advanced audio properties and we want to monitor and output. So now I can hear things through my headphones because I'm monitoring it and outputting it to my desktop audio, and when I switch scenes, it just goes away, which is really awesome. And that way, when I switch scenes, I don't have to constantly hear the Pretzel audio when I'm playing a game, and I don't have to pause the audio. It's all just automated. So when I go into here, it comes back up. When I go to my, wrong screen. When I go into my thanks for watching, I've got my Pretzel audio playing, and then I go into my gameplay, it just kills that audio. It's gone. It's just gone, which is really awesome. That's just an amazing thing to have automated. And yeah, so this is Voicemeeter Potato. It's very daunting. There's some really crazy stuff. But yeah, pretty much to simplify things, up here is your hardware out. So it's your speakers, your headphones, or whatever. You have to set that as a device. These are your channels, so you can turn off and on channels to monitor things. So as I said with the aux, I don't monitor Pretzel at all, but I do have it output through OBS Studio. So when I switch scenes, I don't have to constantly hear Pretzel while I'm playing games. So yes, that is that. And we have it on the B1 track here, so you can select tracks here as well and toggle mute those and do crazy stuff, man. A lot of crazy stuff. The other thing I wanted to show you as well was Discord. Like a lot of people probably can search this up, but the reason why I found Voicemeeter was because of Discord, because I wanted to be able to record Discord on a separate channel. So again, with the VB audio, they have a thing called virtual cable. So if we go audio apps, this virtual cable here. So if I go to my Discord, again, you just install it and it adds it as an additional recording device. So if we go back to sounds and we go recording, there is, it should be somewhere, is it? Yeah, Voicemeeter output virtual cable. It's a virtual cable. And what we do with our settings in Discord, if you wanna record Discord, is we'll just go to voice and video, and I'm gonna bring this across now. We actually set the output device to this VB audio virtual cable. So it actually outputs Discord to a fake recording cable. And then in Voicemeeter, we select as a hardware output, and we select the virtual audio cable. We make sure we can hear it through our speakers, so like our headset, so we put that on audio 1, and we also output it to this B1. I really don't know what that B1 does. Really don't know. Don't know at all. I think, oh wait, no, it's like, it's in here, so you can actually mute things and stuff like that, so you can add gain to the device itself. That would make sense. There we go, found out what it does. So I actually have a few things going through B1. I should actually have this on B2 actually, and have the aux on that. There we go, fix something up. But yes, that is pretty much the crux. So if I was going to add that into OBS, I would just go add output capture, and I call it Discord. And then I would select that virtual cable, Voicemeeter, virtual cable, there we go. And then Discord will come through the stream. I could put that again on another audio track if I was going to record it locally. So I can make that on, say, 4. Let's do that. Have it output to our stream, which is 6. But that means also that if, say, you know, my friend was really, really loud, I can just turn him down on the stream. So that is pretty much everything I know about OBS and what I do in OBS. So as I said, again, I'll show you my new stream setup that I've just set up today. So I'm gonna have my my highlights here at the start with the stream starting soon. Got my game modern, so things are a little bit bigger in here. I got my B back, so we're gonna have like again highlights there. Chat would go in there. Thanks for watching screen, which has our pretzel music in it. And thanks for watching end. So we'd kind of fade things out and just have the song there. And I didn't touch on it, but you can actually add sources as items. So you can actually add media source, which is where my layout source is. This was before they did grouping. So yeah, so grouping's way better. So I would actually recommend grouping over adding sources into things. But yeah, as you can see, I've grouped a lot of things together now and cleaned things up. I've disabled a lot of Streamlabs events. But yeah, that's pretty much, man, all my stream, really. And there's me just rambling on. But yeah, I pretty much covered everything I could think of. And
I have to wait for you to open the door.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. Hopefully this has helped some people. Oh, just a quick one as well. This is another thing I didn't show you. Nerd or Die is where I got that Overwatch theme. That Overwatch themed animated alerts. They have a lot of awesome stuff. That social media drop thing I was talking that you just saw is from here. Again, it's all just browser sources. Nerd or Die does a lot of free stuff or suggested prices. Yeah, suggested price means you can grab it for $0. But yeah, Nerd or Die has some awesome browser sources as well in conjunction with Streamlabs. But really, it's all about just finding what works for you. So yeah, that's just me showing you how I set up my streams and all that jazz. And hopefully this has helped some of you. And yeah, so thank you for everybody that's watched this. Give me a sub if you want to. Follow me on my social media down below. Hopefully I can see a couple of you lads and lasses and streams. And yeah, that's going to be it for this tutorial / me rambling on reference thingamajig. So as always, thank you lads and lasses for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.